Hello everybody, it's MAGMA. I'm here with another LEGO Star Wars review. Today we're going all the way back to 2010 and we have the 8098 Clone Turbo Tank. And this is a pretty exciting set because it's one of those huge Clone Wars sets. And yes, this is the Clone Wars edition of the Clone Turbo Tank, not Star Wars Episode 3, which we have two other versions. But I will, however, in the end compare it to the 2005 Clone Turbo Tank, which is also a pretty popular LEGO Star Wars set. So this set retailed for $120 US, and honestly, I have to say, it is worth those $120. I know the minifigures are Clone Wars style, but nonetheless, they are pretty cool. And I have to say that the set has 1,141 pieces. The build is around 2 hours. I don't know, I didn't have numbered bags, so it took a bit longer for me. I'd say like 2 to 3 hours, but definitely if you do have numbered bags and you are buying this set still sealed, then you're definitely getting a quick build. So it's a very friendly build. You build up first an internal structure for this, and then you just do a bunch of paneling and just really put the set together, which it kind of got me surprised because I was kind of just scared and I didn't know what to think, because at first the set wasn't looking too good, and then finally at the end you just panel all the setup and it just looks great. So yeah. So this set was released for Star Wars Clone Wars, July 2010. And the minifigures we get is first up Aayla Secura, and she is cool because she is exclusive to this set. The character is no longer exclusive to this set because it was re-released in an Episode 3 format for the Republic Fighter Tank recently in 2017, I think. So we do have a better version of Aayla Secura, but back then, or at least for a very long time, she was exclusive to this set, and she was actually worth around $30 US, and I think the price has definitely dropped since the new version came out, which is definitely a high improvement on her. But she is nonetheless a pretty cool figure to have in this set. Then we have Anakin Skywalker. So this is the regular Anakin Skywalker from the Clone Wars, nothing too special right there. Just the regular format, I guess, for him. Then we have Ahsoka Tano, once again, just the regular Ahsoka Tano we got in Star Wars The Clone Wars. These two characters, they're likable, but I mean, we kind of have to have these guys, but I would have liked some, I don't know, some better clone troopers, some like rare clone trooper commanders, just anybody else than these two guys, because I have so many versions of them and I don't want them anymore. Then we have Cad Bane, which is a pretty cool guy. He came in not a lot of sets, and this is one of the few sets he came in. He comes with 2 blaster pistols, he has his weird headgear thing that comes with the tubes, his iconic hat, and then his outfit, which is definitely a nice thing. And his face does have a pretty cool print, I guess, for it. And then the set includes 2 regular clone troopers, and we really have 1 kit of black clone trooper commander armor, so you can definitely equip your clone troopers however you want. So you do have quite a few accessories for those, but they're just 2 generic clone troopers to operate the Clone Turbo Tank. I do have to say that for myself, I do have more clone troopers, but if you do not have any more clone troopers, I would suggest getting more, because this set has a lot of fun features that require figures, I guess. So and without further ado, let's go ahead and actually get into this set. It is a huge set, so we'll try to see how we can manage doing that. We'll get all the figures aside, and we will do this review by sections. Actually, I do want to talk about first, we do have a little build, and it is pretty exciting. We do get this little ATRT, and what's pretty cool about this is that this is the only Clone Wars, or at least the only ATRT made by LEGO that's actually pretty size accurate. This is the actual size of an ATRT, and it's nice to see LEGO actually get this right once, because I know that 501st ATRT is like, it's all the way up here. And it's kind of silly when you see this one, because this is actually what an ATRT looks like, and so it's very nice to finally get this. I don't like the green that they made on this. For some reason they decided to put some green, so I'll have to find a green clone trooper in my collection to fit this in. But I would have liked something better. I don't know, maybe just gray, or I think gray would have made it just better. So you can definitely replace those parts if you do have those pieces in gray. But I'll get more into this little ATRT in a second. I do want to start off with the Clone Turbo Tank review. And I leveled the camera purposely a bit lower, and my only complaint with this set is that you spend so much time building this beautiful tank, and if you have this set a bit high, or in a way that you can kind of see the under part of it, you really feel like the previous Clone Turbo Tank that they could have just worked a bit on some sort of under paneling, because this is a very raw area, and it is pretty distracting for the set in general. So yeah. But with that said, there's a lot of pros to this set, and you're definitely going to enjoy this set a lot because it just looks great and it has so many fun features. So definitely collectors are getting a beautiful build, and people who just like to play with their Lego sets normally, like everybody, are getting so much fun out of this. So here in the front we have these two cannons. They move up and down. They're the classic ones. They're improvements over the previous Clone Turbo Tank that had like cannons that you would touch and they would just fall apart. And then you have the lights. So I'm assuming those are lights. I really can't tell these things. So yeah, you have this sort of weird, I don't know what they are. I'm assuming this is to see from outside. I guess it's the windshield. And then you kind of struggle to open this up, but if you can manage, obviously. Yeah. So in there, what do you have? You actually have two spots for two clone troopers, so we'll get both our clone troopers. And once again, I do have to say, there's a lot of spots where you kind of want to have clone troopers to fit them in. You know, they're kind of just requiring you to get more clones. I do feel like 2 clones for the Clone Turbo Tank is kind of just lacking. That's kind of my excuse for this set, or at least my issue with it. You have some controls on this side, no controls on this side. You have a middle control panel over there. And then you have quite a bit of space to fit some more troops behind. And then obviously you can see kind of the interior. Definitely this is one of those sets that you can do a lot of modifications on by yourself, and they're simple modifications, so if you just have the simple Lego pieces required, you can get something like much better out of this set. So it's very easily modifiable, I guess. And that's actually a really good thing. So we'll keep this guy out and we'll use him for the other stuff. Let's close the front. There we go. And let's take a look at this middle section over here. You open it up. Both sides are identical. You open this up like this, and then you just pull this down. So on this side, what we get is a control center. Obviously, you just pull this up like this, and then you can have your clone trooper standing up, sitting down, whichever you want. And he can just be controlling, I guess. It's kind of just a little mobile control center, and I don't really care much for this. It's kind of just came with the bill, and you didn't really want it. But Lego gave it to me, I guess, in a way. So there it is, little control center. If you guys are wanting to have this, I guess, cool. So yeah, you can have some fun with this. And I feel like it's just very random. It's just to add more pieces. I would have liked to see more pieces allocated, like for the build itself, not actually just these like small builds, but whatever. It is kind of fun because here in the interior on this side, you have this little clip where you can just fit this in. And then on the other side, which I'm going to get to right now, like this, and then just open up as I've shown you. You have some space to fit the little ATRT. Now before I fit this in, as you can see, there's just this little space in the middle for you to fit figures. If you do have a plate, a bigger plate, definitely I would suggest putting it right here. It's just going to give you more space for the figures because there's a gap where you can definitely have more figures and stuff. So I guess like a plate with a width of 6 studs would do, and it would just give you more space because Lego kind of just missed out on that. And then here, over there, if I can focus, you do have some controls and you have these little compartments. Now I don't really want to open them, but the idea is that inside these compartments you have all the spare Clone Trooper gear, you know, the black Clone Trooper gear or Commander gear, so it's a store in there, and you can definitely store some other stuff if you want to, so yeah. With that being said, let's move on to getting this little ATRT in here. So I don't know how to do this because this is the first time I'm actually doing this, but I'm going to go ahead and just figure it out. Okay, so it's not that easy, but I feel like you guys just get the point. You find a way to fit this in here. Oh, there we go. So yeah. so that's how that works out. Let's move on to the top. Here we have a flickfire missile. This is actually the most annoying thing in the entire set. Now, I do need to explain this because, of course, it does look kind of fun. It's a rotating turret, and obviously it's a flickfire missile as well. Kind of weird because you're actually shooting the entire, I don't know, kind of just like if you were shooting the barrel of the gun, but whatever. You know, that's how the old flickfire missiles worked. But what's most irritating about this missile is that it's right next to the handle, and what's annoying about this is that every single time that you're going to want to just pull the handle up, you have this really fragile flickfire missile, and you're just going to pull up, and in this case it's not broken, but like this is going to happen all the time, and it's very, very irritating. So constantly before I pick it up, I just have to like turn this in any direction where I don't break it. So kind of irritating, but nonetheless you do have a flickfire missile, and you do have a lot of space to put all your troops up here and defend the clone turbo tank. I guess there's a lot of space just to put figures on top of the tank, so whatever. This handle is compatible with the dropship from 2009, I believe, or 2008. Yeah, 2009. So like the ATTE and the ATOT, it is compatible, so you can have the dropship carry this set. I'll see if I show you guys that at the end. Not sure. Sorry about that. So then here on the side, as you can see, you have some detailing going on, and you come up and then there's this. And this is, you can open this on each side like this, and the same thing just pops up. It's just a weapons rack. I usually don't care much for weapons racks, but since we've been getting a lot of stud shooter guns, this is kind of a nice treat. So yeah, and there's a lot of space. You can definitely fit some figures, some crates, whatever you want, but the weapons rack just fits in pretty nicely in there. I would usually say that I'm never going to open this compartment again, but it's actually kind of neat what they did, so definitely it's a nice touch. This space, however, is completely wasted. You're going to have to do modifications by yourself because you can't really open this, and if you could, there's definitely a lot of space to put some crates and figures, and it's just empty space that you're going to have to modify by yourself if you want to use it. And then we come to this compartment up front, which in a way is also very exciting. So let's go ahead and take a look. So, 2 stickers on each side, the only stickers of this set in fact, so not too sure if they're good or not. I'm not going to complain because I usually do enjoy stickers compared to most people. So, oops, you can open this up like so. And what do we have in here? It's the same thing as the front, really. It's just 2 chairs and then some controls. I'm not too sure what they're supposed to be for. You could definitely remove the chairs and have, like, I don't know, just more space. You can put a plate that's bigger so it fits more clone troopers. It's just more space to fit figures, really, because I've always been told that this was actually the head of the clone turbo tank, but in fact it's the other way around. This is the back of the turbo tank, so I'm not too sure with the demo. I'm not too sure with like how this thing works out, but I do have a book that explains every single part of the clone turbo tank, but I don't remember exactly what does what. But I'm just going to assume that this is more space over the clones, so whatever. But definitely you can make it up wherever you want it to be, so yeah. And then close this up, and then we have this little turret here on top. This is, I don't know if this is canon or not, but whatever it is, it's just a lot of fun. It's a great fun feature. I can definitely see myself playing for hours just adding this clone trooper up here. And I have to say the design is kind of cool. It's not the usual boring design that we see of this turret. So yeah, so definitely you can shoot up and down. You're going to be having a lot of fun with this turret if you do get this set. So guys, that is going to be it for the review. That's all that I have to say about it. The wheels, well, you know, it's the clone turbo tank, so I have to talk about the wheels. What about them, really? This one has suspensions, which reminds me, of course, that the clone turbo tank is a directional set, or I don't really know how to explain it, but it's directional. So if I turn it, I guess, like this, it's going to turn to its left. Turn it like this, you know. It's just you can really have fun controlling this set, and you can really like you can predict where it's going to go. In a way, you can control its steering in a way. So it is kind of nice, and of course the wheels do go on top of like obstacles. They do have some good suspension going on. So yeah. Okay, so here is the comparison with the 2005 Clone Turbo Tank. Now I do have a lot of nostalgia. This is really a set I've had all the way back in 2005, and I was just playing with this set for my entire childhood. So obviously I'm going to be a bit more biased with this one than just the set that I recently got and I very much like, but still just doesn't have the sentimental value, which in fact I do have to say for my collection, or for my case in Lego, there's a lot of sentimental value I have in my reviews, especially towards these older sets. So it's kind of a bad thing at the same time. It is also a good thing, so I don't know. Up to you guys to judge, but honestly the newer one is just way better. I know it's not the episode 3 version, it's the Clone Wars version, but like when you compare this front panel, this one, like, it doesn't look nearly as good, nearly as just, I don't know, sleek looking. This one just has too many colors, too much going on, and here you just open it up and you have so much space, and then this one you can't actually open it up. I mean, you can, but like there's just one seat with little lookout. You know, it's not very good looking, and it's going to break apart as soon as you open this panel. So yeah, once more, just Lego was really nice and really subtle about these little lights. This one, it just used these big ass yellow cones. These guns, you know, they just look better than these old little things. So that's the way honestly, the only reason why you would want to go back to 2005 and get this one is mainly for nostalgia. I was complaining earlier on that this one had this like ugly internals. This one, it just looks completely raised. I mean, there's nothing going on down here, which makes it look very ugly. I mean, you can almost see the internals without opening the panel. And if you do open the panel, you know, there's this turret going on in here, and it's not a bad thing. I do enjoy the turret. And what I do enjoy more with the older version is that if you remove the turret, you have so much more space in the inside than in this one, which definitely I mentioned the modifications you would have to do for this one, but it's kind of crazy to tell yourself that this one is just, I feel like the doors just work better, you know? When you open this one, the doors don't work as good. There's a huge gap between the actual platform and the door. This one, you don't have a gap at all. So in this internal section part, I do feel like the newer one, or excuse me, the older one is better. Then again, this one does not have a handle. You're going to have to carry it from the under part, which is also very fragile. So that's kind of an issue as well. If we look, wheels, I don't really see a big difference. Definitely this one is going to hold up better, but I don't really have a big preference. Again, here in the newer one, I showed you the weapons rack going on here. This one, you open it up, and I mean, it's the engines, nice little detail, but you're never really gonna play with that. There's also space lost over here, which in this set you can actually open up, but you know, you're gonna want to open it up, it's gonna break. So yeah, not too sure how that works. There you go. And then let's turn this set around. This one does have somewhat of a better look for the front part. I feel like the newer one is a bit too bulky for the front part. Then again, it's just really my opinion. So, and the turret is the same, just that here you can fit a minifigure on top of it. I guess it kind of looks a bit more silly, but I don't know. It's up to you guys. However, here it's the same feature, just open it up. This one has a better opening system than the newer one, but the newer one has just so much more space than the older one, which is just two brown seats and some guns. So, you know, whatever. So yeah, so that's my feelings, or at least my opinions for the two turbo tanks. Definitely the newer one is a much better set. It's more solid. It's just a huge improvement over the 2005 one, which I would definitely still recommend for collectors and people who like old Lego Star Wars sets. But if you just want to play with your set and you don't want to have to worry about it breaking apart all the time, definitely go ahead and take a look at the newer one, because this one is the superior set. Now, I do want to show you one last thing before I leave. I know it's been a very long review or video, but I do want to show you that this set can be attached to the Republic dropship. So let's go. So if you want to do this, obviously you're going to have this set in your collection, the Republic Dropship with ATOT that came out in 2009. So the way this works is the same way as with the other sets. Lego has made this universal handle that goes on here, and what you want to do is you're going to want to have the dropship just coming on top and connecting. So I'll go ahead and connect that. Okay, so now it is connected. I've just attached the system. This is pretty straightforward. If you do have the set, you'll know how this works. And once it's attached, you know, it's there. So I don't know if it really looks the best. You can't really rest the dropship on it, but once you have it, it's holding. So you're going to be able to, you know, fly it around and all that stuff, and then just come and supposedly drop it. I'm not sure how this works anymore. I think you have to push it. There you go. Release it, and then the dropship obviously leaves, and your turbo tank is in battle. So yeah. There's a few stuff that broke apart when I did this, and I do have to mention, obviously, this turret fell apart. It wasn't really a surprise. I actually removed it myself in the end. But let me just try to fix it real quick. Yeah, so this turret came apart. The modifications you have to do for this to work is just simply moving this pin 1 down. So I'm putting the pin back up to where it was usually, but I brought this pin 1 down, and then turning the set around. It may occur that this thing falls off, which really isn't a big problem or a big deal. It's just, it might happen. So yeah. So guys, that is going to be it for this review. Please leave a comment, obviously share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. What do I have to say about this set? Definitely pick this set up if you are a Clone Wars fan or a prequel fan. If not, then this may not be the best set for you. But if you are looking for a Lego Star Wars set that brings a lot of playability and you can spend hours with, this is definitely one of those top Lego Star Wars sets. Thanks guys, and I'll see you guys next time here on Nama's channel for another great Lego video. Bye bye.